What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back on a depressing Monday morning, evening, depending where you're watching from. And the title of the show is Exposed because I'm gonna start off with a few things. Thing Allegri said, and you can see it on the right hand side. But Danilo came out and he said something, and he exposed, in my opinion, a lot of people. And it's the captain, and everybody loves Danilo, so you cannot say, oh, he's lying now. You cannot flip the switch now because everybody praised Danilo and everybody took Danilo's words for what he said. So we cannot do that, but I'm going to talk about that after the Allegri code. Before we do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and let's go. Okay, like I said, first Allegri's presser or whatever, because he had a lot of things to say, but the thing that stood out was this. Um, he said, with today's draw, we kept Atalanta at bay again and gained a point on Bologna. Now, I've been watching and listening to pressers, let's say for the last, probably not even the first two seasons of Conte, not like I'm doing it now, like real in depth every single week, post game, pre game, but like let's say a good 12 years or so, whatever. I cannot recall hearing these words that, or actually, I cannot recall a Juve coach saying we kept Atalanta at bay and we gained the point on Bologna. I've never heard about that, and even if it's quote unquote true, that's something you absolutely do not want to hear the coach of one of the biggest clubs in the world say. That's just, for me, it's just unacceptable. It's kind of insulting. Like, we won one game out of seven. Like, that's not anything. Like, everybody's pissed. Like, even now, like, just be collective and flat out lie. Even if you don't want to say these things, just go out there and say, you know what? One win out of seven, unacceptable. I need to do better. He never says that. He never comes out and said, you know what? I need to be better. One win out of seven, it's also on me. These guys follow me. And if they win only one game out of seven, I win only one game out of seven. And it's also my problem. It's my issue. But he never comes out and he says these things. He says we won a point on freaking Bologna. Now we're acting like Bologna is one of those. They're there. They shouldn't be there. It's like people want to dismiss even Bologna losing to Inter. Oh, but they didn't have really chances. They shouldn't. They're Bologna. Like, it's actually crazy that people are now pissed or looking at Bologna saying, hey, actually, they didn't create the chances. They're Bologna. They have higher standards for Bologna. There are fans out there who have higher standards for Bologna because even after the game, they said, oh, Bologna didn't have any shots against Inter. Are you having higher standards for Bologna than for us? Like, Bologna shouldn't be in this place. The fact that they're in this place with that squad is ridiculous, by the way. Also, all the rest is not good, but still, they're up there. It's ridiculous. If they're going to make it or not, I don't care. But it's with 10 games left, they're out there. It's ridiculous. They shouldn't be out there, but they are. I don't want to hear a Juve coach, and even if Thiago Motta is a coach next season, or Antonio Conte, or Jurgen Klopp, whatever, like, I'm pushing it now. I don't want to hear any coach say, hey, we gained a point on Fiorentina who's sitting at fourth. The moment you say that, you're in a bad situation. It's as simple as that. And again, it's not all the blame on him, but 3 years into the job, we have had multiple players, multiple squads, the end result, and with the end result is, because I don't think winning the Scudetto was really on anyone's mind. Actually, anyone who had some sort of self-respect for himself did not believe you were winning the title. So it's not that. The problem is 3 years in, the same issues occur. And after every game, it's not me, it's the youngest team we have in the last 3 years. And I'm like, okay, I guess. Like, that's not the issue. Like, it's not the issue because the same issues occurred when we had an older squad. But what really topped off the day was this from Danilo. He said, we don't feel so inferior to Inter. That's what he said, the captain. A lot of people love Danilo as a captain, as a player, whatever. As a great leader, and everybody praises him, and everything he says is the truth. So now nobody can flip it and say, hey, he's lying, because I'm going to use it against everybody. He said, we don't feel so inferior to Inter, when the last excuses were, oh, but Inter are so good. It's normal that they're, 20 points, 18 points, 15 points ahead of us. I'm not even sure at this moment in time. But that was the last excuse people were using. Oh, it's normal. Like, it's like they're just that good. 15 points. Yeah. No, no, no. It's not normal. And Danilo said it himself. He said, we don't feel so inferior to Inter. So you can, like, even that excuse is out of the window now. That, oh, Inter are far superior. They are the better side. But 15 points or 18 points and it's March is ridiculous. Let that sink in. We won one game out of 7. 6 points out of the last 21. And still, excuses are being made. We have these mental breakdowns for 3 years now, midway through the season. And everybody wants to ignore that. We're doing worse than last season. And we're playing we are playing one game a week. Atalanta played on Tuesday. We play one game a week. And we look clueless. I have no idea what we do. And to top it off, to top it off completely, Pasalic comes out and he said, we try to do these set piece things with coal miners every single week, but it doesn't work because the opponents study us. That was a direct shot. Remember, I did my match tracks and I said there were 4 Atalanta players and 3 Juve players. It did not make sense. Pasalic admitted, we try to do this often, but other teams study us. We obviously did not do our job. And on the pitch, the players were still clueless. Not one player said, you know what? They have an advantage here. Something is up. No. It's all disjointed. It's all looking bad. We cannot win games. We won one game. That was against Frosinone in the last seconds. Like, it's really bad. Like, there's actually no room, no time for excuses. It's that bad. It really is that bad. And this quote from Allegri as well, but from Danilo tops it off, because no more excuses about, hey, Inter are so far ahead of us. It's normal that there's so many points of us. No, because Danilo, who everybody thinks is a great captain and leader, fine, that's up for debate, I think, said we don't feel so superior. Then what is the issue? Inferior, excuse me. Then what is the issue? Because even in the Atalanta game, the moment we concede, it's heads down and it's gone. You do well to get back into the game in 5 minutes. You concede, it's tough, but there's still like 20 minutes to play with extra time. And you do nothing. Heads down, and again, shaky, all over the place. Like, that's also coaching players, but it's up to the coaching staff to get those players' mindset right again. Like, it's not that you lost against Inter that you can now go on a free fall. Like, how is that even possible? How soft is this team as well? And again, it's not all on Allegri, because a lot of these players should not be at the club. But a lot of these players are still better than other players in this league. And also, a lot of these players, after 3 years, should be putting out their better product. The goals we scored should be a normal thing. It should happen more often. But it doesn't after 3 years. It doesn't. And that's an issue. Like, it really isn't. It's getting worse. It's getting worse in year 3. Like, how can you sit there? And I don't know if Motta comes in or Conte comes in, whatever, that it will all be magically better. We don't know. By now, we don't know. But what we do know, this is not it. That's the only thing I'm saying. And this is actually bad. And the post games are getting ridiculous. Like, the post games are actually winding me up at times. Won a point on Bologna. Like, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Like, this is Juve. Like, this is not Fiorentina. And even Fiorentina will be sitting there like, Fiorentina fans. Like, it's wild that I actually need to say these things. But this is Juve. This is still Juve. But it is what it is, I guess. You know, on to Sunday, early kickoff. A lot of people will play Genoa. And again, there's no guarantee we'll win that game. We'll probably concede a couple of goals. So that's that. But let me know, what do you think? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification. And I will see you guys later tonight with another live show. Ciao.